My father was in the class of 27, and in his last years he was the president of the class, and it was during his tenure that the last secretary of the class passed on. And it's nice to know that the class of 27 continues to be remembered, even if that masthead for the class of 27 and the Alumni Weekly isn't there.
I love keeping in touch with people. I've always been a writer, and I've always written a lot of letters, and this is a good way to keep in touch with my classmates. I write them whenever I get changes of addresses. I write to them, or to see if I see them in the paper. It's nice to keep in touch, basically.
It's a nifty job. I get to meet organized people, discussing with people that I didn't have a chance to meet in college. It's really a lot of fun, and I enjoy it thoroughly. I've only had the job a little over a year, and I hope that I live long enough to have it a long time.
Well, I ran our 15th and 20th reunions, and then I was president for 10 years, going into our 25th, and then became secretary because I perceived that it was the greatest job in the class. One of the most interesting things about being involved as a class officer, whichever one, is that of my 10 or 12 best friends in the class, better than half of those are friendships that have developed since we graduated.
Wildlife. Another one? And they apparently, yeah. Well, because they're every now and then. Another one?
As a result of being class secretary, I made friends people I didn't know. I was just saying to somebody else, I'm still meeting my classmates. A bunch of names, and there are some regulars who write all the time, and some people who, for whatever reason, they finally get inspired to write. I think that's something else that's really rewarding. Someone who I haven't heard from in 28 years decides this is the day they're going to answer an email. It's like, yes, I am doing something. For now, I'm in Morocco, as I said, in the Peace Corps, and it's given me a nice balance of the rest of the world. It's very easy to get caught up in my own little world of what I'm doing, and to keep in touch with my class and to know that there are other people out there doing other things has been really rewarding for me. And I feel like I'm not so isolated.
The best part is association with old friends, and then making a lot of new ones, people that I just simply didn't know that well. The most difficult part of the whole job is cutting I get so many words from people and messages, trying to cut it down to so it's acceptable to Fran. So it's really, that's the hardest part of the whole job.
Make sure you never miss a deadline.
Yeah, that's
Make sure you
number one.
never miss a deadline, and somehow come up with 300 words every other week.
And if you can't, you do what Jack does, you make it up.
Well, one year I traveled around the entire country in a 40-foot Winnebago visiting classmates, and the entire thing was made up. And I had photos from all over the country, and people calling my wife and wondering if we'd broken up.
My wife edits them heavily for snide remarks, killer statements.
It's a lot of fun.
I like it. You get to you make contact with people you haven't seen in years. Some folks you didn't know real well. You learn a whole lot more about them, and you become friends.
Fran, including you. Okay, pay attention to him though.
You do a test shot first.
Okay, here goes.